Hey everyone, welcome. As we get settled in here. I am so excited to be here again today. You're on the AGTA Gems feed, and my name is Jennifer Markas. I am the Executive Director of the Women's Jewelry Association. And for those of you who might not know the Women's Jewelry Association, it is the women's professional networking organization and development group. So I'm so excited to be able to interview today Paula Crevoshay, and we're going to get her right in. This is an interview in this second installment series of our interviews for the AGTA Spectrum Gem Diva Awards. So thank you so much for joining. We're so excited to have Paula here, and I cannot wait to welcome her in. So just give me one moment as we find her, and so we can get her to join in. We're going to be talking about her creative process today, and about the gems that she has showcased over the years. Let me just see though. Paula, are you available? I'm going to find you. 1 second. So excited that you're here. We're going to get you right on. There we go. Okay. Paula, I think we're going to wait for you to come on. I just sent you a request. So let me know. We're just waiting for you to accept it. Thank you, everyone, so much for your patience in joining in. Oh, Paula, you're here. You made it. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn up my volume so I can hear everything. Oh, I'm so excited to see you. You know, the last time I saw you was the AGTA show last year. And I am so sad that we're not there again this year, but I am just thrilled that you've given us some time today to discuss your beautiful work. And I just am so thrilled to see you. Where are you? So where are you now? Are you in New Mexico?
Yes, I'm in my home, working remotely for months and months, almost a year now. But I'm so honored to be here, and I'm so happy to see you in virtual. It makes so much difference.
It does. It's so great to be able to kind of have that emotion and be able to see and hear together. And, you know, there's quite a few people joining us today. So I was just giving a little bit of background. This is our second installment in this series. So we're taking over for AGTA at noon, which is my time. I'm based in Manhattan with the Women's Jewelry Association. I know that you're at your home in New Mexico, so a couple hours behind. So welcome everyone. This is an opportunity for us to learn more about Paula's work and the awards that she just won for classical and evening wear through the AGTA Spectrum Gem Diva Awards. Paula, that's such a mouthful, so I feel like, forgive me if I stumble over. Oh my gosh, I think you have a cousin watching. You have the whole fan club here today.
Good. Oh, good.
I know, no, we're all so excited. So Paula, I know you've done so many of these, but really this is an opportunity, you know, for the new viewers and the people that are new to the industry. Just so you know, AGTA has over 100,000 Instagram followers. So from all over the world, I'd love for you to give just a little bit of a snippet of your company, Crevoshay, and what you specialize in and what sets you apart.
Well, I think what sets me apart as a designer is that I do only one of a kind for over 35 years. And I never duplicate a design except if one is lost and the client wants to commission it because they've lost it. That's only happened to me once, and that was a gorgeous orchid, and I had to redo the whole thing, and they never found it. But what also sets me apart is how I work, my process. I work with the light of the earth, literally. So I use gemological understanding as well as artistic understanding. I have worked as a painter. My master's degree was in painting when I was a young woman graduating with, from graduate school in Madison, Wisconsin. And so I've worked with transmitted light as well as reflective light. And so when I'm working, I literally design pieces. I see the gems that need to be the actual placements before I make the piece. It's so fascinating. It comes in all at once like a flood. Like if I'm making a botanical, like one of my crocus flowers, I see the species and then it translates it directly into the gemstones. I hand draw everything that I do, and the staff has to measure my hand-drawn designs because I have an innate sense of balance, proportion, and form. It's in my hard drive. It's literally a gift. And so
it's all in there.
It's all in there. And many artists are like that. But I'd say the company standing for only one of a kinds, forever and a day, and also my connection to nature, art, and science, and how deeply I synthesize it as far as from an artistic point of view. And my business model is based on that, but also defining it as art so that it stimulates and I cultivate collectors to my work. So most of my clients will have hundreds of my pieces if they're with me for 30 years, so to speak.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm so excited because, just in understanding your complete repertoire of work, you are in the Smithsonian, you have been in all sorts of incredible institutions that, spread this beautiful creativity across the world. I am just so impressed. And I know the jewelry community is as well, and it looks up to you, and you're an inspiration to so many, Paula. So this is so exciting that we get to see. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of go off to the AGTA work that you've just done, because I'd love for you to unpack, you've shared a little bit about your creative process with us, but I'd love for you to unpack the pieces that you specifically did for the winning, so for the awards. So give me a moment. I'm going to put up the bracelet first.
Okay.
So we have a couple of images. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's stunning. I know, everyone, you need to just take this piece in. I feel like it's like a floating sea of beautifulness. I love it.
Well,
so share with us kind of how you went about creating this piece. What gems did you use? What were you inspired by?
Well, I'm holding it right now.
Oh my God, you have the real thing. We have the real thing. Yes, we can see. Oh my gosh, look at this.
I'm going to turn it on the back. See all the gold seats for the gemstones, and then the prongs on the front. And there are hundreds and hundreds of 400 or 500 stones in this bracelet.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll talk about the process, but I wanted to show the viewers who will never see this bracelet, how fluid it is. And even the fringe that you see in the still at the top, it's like I've made a tapestry that is movable. And
the movement is stunning. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so fluid. I love it. I love it. So, okay, so break down, how did you get us here? Okay. I'm so happy you had the piece to show us. I mean, it's better than the picture.
Exactly. George the genius, and my late George Crevoshay was a genius, literally, and he was fluent in 8 languages, reading, writing, speaking, many of them Asian languages. He was a linguist and a PhD, and he took me on the Magical Mystery Tour, literally. And he ended up in Burma to do some research, and he was in this ancient city, Bagan, where you're up on a mountain and you look into the valley for over thousands of stupas dedicated. It's a great holy place. Gosh. And he runs into an American that they had similar friends out of the blue in this remote place. And they start to talk, and then he finds out all the stuff, and he goes, well, what are you doing in Burma? He said, I'm investing in a mine. And I will get to the answer of this bracelet, but I just want to tell the story. So George he said, well, the friend said, well, my friends are investing in this ruby mine. I hear the rubies are the best in Burma. And so they want me to invest. They want to take me on tour. He said, hey, can I come along? And that sounds cool, you know? And then George got smitten with gems and minerals. And he was so prolific because he could speak out all the languages, joke in their language. He could get the best price because he could hear what their cost was because he thought he was an American that didn't know what they were saying. So that's how I come to be just totally, I was surrounded by every gem and mineral. I was at mine locations all over the world for the 24 years that we were married. Anyway, it's 30 something years later, and I'm still using many of the stones. I call George Rumpelstiltskin. He could just produce, like he could manifest. So my tribute to George, I started going through and I'm making what I'm calling the George collection. And this bracelet is one of them. We loved Lanka so much, Sri Lanka, and we would go, we knew the family that owned the original moonstone mines there that were so prolific and gorgeous. And I have a giant, like 50 carat piece that I kept from that collection. But I started playing around with all of George's gems, and I'm going through box after box, and I decide I see this moonstone bracelet in my head. And I start to do the layout, and then I thought, well, I have to do all George stones and all Sri Lankan stones. So all sapphire melee, George cut, and all of it is from one mine location there too, Ratnapura. And then anyway, so I lay it out and get the proportions and the detail, and then we put it under glass, the layout, so that it will be perfect to, you know, those stone boxes. Then off it goes to the bench, and I could not believe how fluid. I named it Moon Dance. I have a little video of Moon Dance, this bracelet, on my website. You ought, viewers, if you want to see how beautiful it truly is, I like that little video.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Paula, for sharing. I mean, what a special tribute to George. And thank you for the background. I mean, that is just, it's so imbued with like just all this beauty and history. It's so incredible. And I can't wait to see the video because I've seen these pictures 100 times. So to see it, you know, over Instagram in person and now on video, we have it everywhere. This is so beautiful. So beautiful. So I'm so glad. And I have one other photo. I think this is on your website. This is another photo of Moon Dance. So yeah, this was the evening wear winner. This is just so stunning. Oh, I love it. I can look at this all day. I know, maybe I'll get a chance to wear it one day, Paula. I don't know.
Absolutely. I can make that happen in a New York unit.
Right, I got to meet you in the middle. Right, I love New Mexico, so I'll come out and see you sometime when it's safe. But let's get the other one up here too. I'm gonna get the yeah. Oh, you're wearing it perfect. Okay,
yeah,
great.
I decided to wear it. And we'll talk about. Do I have it at the right point?
You do. Yeah, you do. It's like translucent. It's so stunning.
Thank you. Well, this story is really wonderful too. I love the story. I only tell stories in my jewelry. I always have. I really do. Some of them are gemological. Some of them are mystical. Some of them are historical. But I call it, this is the Brown-Eyed Susan. And what happened is, I know the mine owners all throughout Montana because it's such a great state and it's so historically relevant. You know, George Frederick Kunz was contacted. They were mining for gold because Montana had the gold, and that's what the gold rush kind of thing. They went out to find gold, and their sleuth boxes in the mine got stuck with these little blue pebbles. They kept clogging the sleuth, so they took them all out, and they had filled several cigar boxes full. And finally, the supervisor of the expedition said, "I'm going to send these to my friend Tiffany. He's sure to know what these are. And
Oh
George
my
Becker
gosh.
Kuntz happened to be there, and he said, oh my, he wrote them, you know, we didn't have Instagram, or we didn't have any of that. He hand wrote him and said, oh my God, you've hit Sapphire, I'm on my way.
Oh.
So there's a great history there, and it's so prolifically endowed with sapphire. And the first mine location specifics of sapphire from Montana that I did was all from Rock Creek, where I would take crystal slices, crystal faces, alluvial polish and stone, and cut and polish and make these gorgeous designs. But it also told the story of Montana. So this stone in the center is a 5.30 carat Montana sapphire, and it is in the most exquisite orangish reddish tone like I have never seen. So I see the stone and I said, oh my God, it's a brown-eyed Susan, because you know, the hills of Montana in the springtime, in May, no, first week of June or second week of June, the whole hillsides where all these mine locations are and things are filled with what's called a bitterroot flower. That was my first flower that I made from all Montana pinks and yellows, rarest colors. It took me over a year to gather enough stones to do the piece. And I almost gave up one day because I could, and I got a phone call, and somebody had them. It had what I needed. I needed like 100 more pinks or something.
Oh my goodness.
So that's how my life works. It's very magical. I think I have somebody looking out for me up there. Maybe it's George, I don't know. But so the stone came to me and I said, well, I've done a bitterroot, so I'm going to do a brown-eyed Susan, because the hillsides are covered with those wildflowers as well.
Oh, that's an incredible story. That is just amazing, the origins of this. And I mean, Paul, I've been to Montana. It's absolutely stunning. And I did not know about the sapphire mining. You know,
oh, you must go and visit.
I had no idea.
Yes, and this is from a newer mine. It hadn't been tapped, and a brilliant man named Keith Barron had bought it up, and he's genius in mining and a lot of other things. I really treasure his intelligence and his integrity. And so I got to go out and visit the mine there, and I had such a blast. And it's so beautifully organized, where certain things are separated for gold and for stone and for, you know, rough and all of that. And they are getting stones like we've never seen, because it had not been touched
exactly
for all of these centuries. So alluvial still, but incredible, just incredible.
Incredible. So, will you show us one more time the yeah, well, you already put it back on. I don't want you to have to get a struggle here, but it's just incredible. It's so beautiful.
It really is. And I wanted to point out, I'll turn this to the side if it helps. I don't know if I can, but it's made in 3 or 4 layers.
Sure, yeah. Pieces, no, we can see.
Yeah, it's really a treat to go to those mines. I highly recommend you go.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so grateful for these stories. And, you know, you have won, Paula, countless awards, you know, from everything from AGTA to JCK and everything in between. And, you know, I actually don't even know how many times for AGTA. So we're so pleased. I know you got a call from Doug when the awards came out. So that was so wonderful. And I know I'm sending many prayers their way. In Texas, it's just so crazy what's happening with this weather. It's actually snowing here today, so I have all these lights on, and I hope that you're staying safe down in New Mexico, because I feel like the whole country.
We're really fine. We had a lot of snow, but we never lost electricity like Texas. A lot of my family is in Houston, and tons of friends in all over Texas. Yeah. And many of them are okay, but one of my friends' swimming pool froze over, you know, because they lost electricity for 24 hours.
Sure.
But, you know, I think you had a question that you sent me about what would I recommend to new people coming into the business, or?
Yeah, no, one of the last questions was just, I know we have a brief program today, is, you as a woman designer in this space for so long, and WJA, uplifting and promoting and empowering women in design. What are some, tips or advice you have? I know that you've always spoken about having this calling, this creative calling in, to be a painter and a sculptor and now, a jewelry designer. And some people don't, hear that, like the intuition there is not so clear. And so I feel like you've been such a big role model in this idea of having creativity and working towards, a greater good in this way. Do you have any, I don't know, do you have any advice or tips for women starting out or women who are early on in their businesses?
I do. And quite often I've been asked, I was speaking at GIA many years ago, maybe 25 years ago or something, on a panel, and a young woman raised her hand and said, how do you do this? I would like to do this. What do you recommend? And I've always said this to young ones that come to my booth from FIT and different areas. At Tucson, they come from different organizations where they're learning jewelry design to ask me questions. And one major thing I always say is find your own unique voice. Find what you want to say, how you want to express beauty through jewelry design, and follow your voice. That's one thing. Another thing, to get connected is very important. We're a tight-knit industry, and it's so easy to connect. So the way to connect is join WJA, for example. Join AGTA if you can do that. As a, it would be at a different level. You wouldn't be a gem dealer, but you'd be a jewelry person. And also, apply for awards to get your name out there. And don't just take any piece. Read up on what the award is all about, what message, what category, and plan it so that you have the pieces ready before you need them, so you're not scrambling. And I think, reach out to people like myself. I find that our industry is mostly very benevolent and kind, and we care. And how did I get here? I began, and I worked as hard as I could, and once I had a little collection together, I designed these mezuzah-shaped blue velvet boxes for earrings only because I needed good luck from the shape, and I did only one of a kinds, all sapphires of all different colors, because I didn't want the stones to be broken in the mounting. And I put on this suit that I had designed, and I went knocking on door to door, made appointments though ahead of time by phone to all the like Firestones and Parsons in Boston. And
Sure.
I was in Boston at the time, and I just began. So really believe in yourself. It takes a lot of confidence to get out there, but once you're out there, you have so much fun, you keep doing it, and you get your work supported. And then, I say to young girls that have come quite often or write to me, if I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, no, and it's so true, Paula. I feel like, again, once you have the momentum, you can keep going. You get the feedback. It's like this, feedback loop. You know how to adapt and change and keep going. And I am just so grateful that we've had this, short time with you to explain, these beautiful pieces and the origins and some of the history. But I highly urge everyone to go check out the video of Moondance, and again, to just keep posted on your next exhibitions, etc. And just one last question before we head out, Paula. What is like the one thing you miss so much about being at AGTA this year?
Everything. I miss everything.
I know it's hard to pick one thing.
I miss AGTA. I miss having all my gorgeous jewels on display in the ballroom, but I miss family, community, friends. I miss all the joking, the laughing, and seeing all the new fresh rough out of the pockets that we've never seen before. What's new, what's hot in Tucson. And I just miss everything about it. I'm
Yes.
so sad that we weren't able to gather, but we're going to really double it up in 2000.
Absolutely. No, and I'm going to see you there. And just a big shout out to Doug, Cammie, and Tanner, who've helped us put this together today. Paula, thank you for being here. Thank you for all your words of wisdom and just sharing your beauty with us, your art, you know, that's so nature filled and inspired. I really appreciate being able to see you today. Thank you.
Thank you, AGTA. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Kisses to everybody.
Yes, big hugs to you. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.